Hey guys, it's Nation with Nation's Real Self Empowerment. I'm coming back to you with another video. I want to get back to the basics. The reason why I'm doing this is because there are many people out here in 2023 who are waking up to the realization that the world is not as it seems, and they're coming to find that they need or want or desire a person, group of people who are like minded and who are pursuing understanding, truth, revelation, and ascension apart from the things that they have found to be false or falsified in some way, including the government system, the institutions, um, the school system, big pharma, if I'm allowed to say that, etc., etc. With that being said, the basics are not talked about as much as all of the rest of these very interesting conspiratorial things. That is to say, getting out of debt, correcting your status, getting out of the matrix, living as a free individual person, natural man or woman, whatever that might be. But there's not many people who are talking about the basics. And so I do have some videos from the past. I do talk about the path to freedom and the basics of the path to freedom, and what you probably would want to understand and know. But I figure, hey, it's 2023. Let's add in what I've already been talking about, and what I've also learned since then. And I'm gonna start with this brief page here. I'm not sure if you can see this. You should be able to see this. I'll bring the light down a little bit on it. Okay, so here's this brief page here, guys. It's pretty straightforward in what it's saying, and I want to go over this page for us, so that way we get a glimpse. Now, if you're not overly religious, don't be too offended if I'm using the word God. You can just replace that word with, source or energy or ultimate vibration or non-physical energy, etc., etc. The whole point that I think that we have to get to is that there is some force that is greater than you, greater than me, greater than the finite mind, greater than the finite existence. And I think that, finding, that to be true, I think brings a lot of understanding for us all, and I think maybe even some peace too, Um, and so, yeah. So if we start with this premise that there is an ultimate vibration, a creator, a source, an energy, call it God, call it creator, call it whatever it is that you want to call it, um, that something exists outside of you that is greater than you, right? I think that's a great premise to start with, guys. Um, Beyond that, we'll go a little bit more into society and how it kind of works a little bit. Um, Actually, before we go into that, uh, the Law of One talks about this, and the Law of One is a book. It's channeled information. If you want to take a look at it, I'm sure you can find a free PDF somewhere. Um, and this is what it says about that creator, and how things came to be. Uh, the book, in Sophia Celeste words, says first that there was infinity. Infinity is the first known thing in creation. If you want a good glimpse at infinity and what it is, there's a really great documentary on Netflix called Trip to Infinity. I watch it at nighttime whenever I want to fall asleep. I think it's beautifully animated, and they can't obviously they can't explain what it is, but they do their best. Physicians, scientists, etc., try to explain what infinity is, and I think they do the best job that they can, given that it's something that can't be explained. Um, Infinity is the first known thing in creation according to the raw materials, or the law of one. From infinity, we all have the wonderful opportunity of experiencing creation. That is not only the physical creation, but also even the non-physical things in this world. What happened next is that infinity became aware of itself and probably aware of the things around it, whatever was there at the beginning. And if you're a Christian or some other religious follower, in the beginning, there was God, there was the Creator. Okay, there in the beginning. Well, what was before the beginning? There must have been something that was there before the beginning, right? So whether it was something, whether it's nothing, whether something is nothing, that's a discussion for another time. But the reason, again, we're bringing this up is because we're starting with a basic premise that there is something governing the universe. There are certain laws, there are certain order, universal laws, tendencies, things that are governing the movement of energy in the universe, and whatever that thing is, we are starting with that premise, because if we're going to go down this path of freedom, which I think that you and I both really desire to experience freedom in your own life, in your own mind, in your own heart, then there are certain presumptions that we accept for every moment. And again, change is the only constant in the universe, so it's not like you have to like hold on to it as a belief, but it's something that I think could be very beneficial for you moving on. So first there was infinity. Infinity became aware, and that awareness led to the focus of infinity into energy. And this is where we get this focused energy. It is also called infinite energy, and it is what created the universe as we know it. This infinite energy is also known and referenced as the Logos, or in the scriptures, the book of John, the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. All things are made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and that life is the light of men. Light, life, love, energy, the ultimate vibration, Logos. You see. So that is that infinite energy. So when the Son says to the Father is greater than I, that's what he's saying, is that as soon as infinity had awareness, that awareness led to energy, infinite energy. And that infinite energy is ultimately what we call the Logos, the Word, love, and the Creator. So the Creator of this universe, call it God, call it Yahweh. We're not going to go on the Yahweh track yet, but call it whatever you want to. The Creator of the universe is the focusing of. I'm defining the Creator right now. The focusing of infinity. The focusing of infinity as an aware or conscious principle. The focusing of infinity as an aware or conscious principle. You would say that God is conscious. Yes, I think we would all agree to that. Would you say that life is conscious? Absolutely 100%. That life, which is the light of men, is conscious. It exists in everything that is created, both material and immaterial. And that very thing also is also connected to Christ, in the sense that in it holds all things together. Everything consists by this Creator. And again, the Creator is the focusing of infinity as an aware or conscious principle. I hope you guys are getting this. And I hope this is, again, I don't want to ramble on, but I just know for myself that this is some information I came into, and I'm like, sure, I'd like to get into that. Okay, so the Creator creates you. This infinity, this focused energy creates you, and it creates me. And it creates all things. How? By the focusing of infinity as awareness. So in the same way that the Creator became to be, or came to be in the beginning, is the same way that you and I have come to be here now. By the focusing, he creates, by the focusing of infinity, uses infinity, that is infinite energy, as awareness and consciousness. And so here we are. So whether or not that helped you or didn't help you, I hope it did. So we started here. Got here. So we start with here, and then we move on to the people as individuals. Okay. Now here we were talking about constitutional, but not statutory citizens. So we're using this term citizen. There are many people who say, well, you don't want to be a citizen. I used to be one of those people. You didn't want to be a citizen. But that was before I came to the understanding that there's two kinds of citizens. You have a constitutional citizen, as seen in Article 4, Section 2A of the Constitution. The citizens of each state, that is the organic state of the Union, that is not a federal franchise, guys. We're not talking about the state in all capital letters. We're not talking about the state of any state. We're talking about the organic state that is not a commercial entity or fictitious entity. It is a natural state with geographical borders around it. Okay, and if you were born in a state of the Union, an organic state of the Union, which most Americans are, you are entitled to certain privileges. Well, not even certain, all privileges and immunities of citizens of and in the several states. Okay, so I'll read this just without interjecting. Article 4, Section 2 of the Constitution says, the citizens of each state shall be entitled to all privileges and immunities of citizens in the several states. Okay, now that type of citizen, and what kind of immunities are we talking about here? We're talking about your natural rights. We're talking about if your rights have been infringed upon, the officers of the law are supposed to make recompense for that. We're talking about the ability to use the roadways, to travel freely. We're talking about using the judicial system to make recompense in case someone has infringed upon your property. These are all rights of citizens. These are privileges and rights of a citizen of a state. Okay, many of you guys, people don't want to be called citizens. If you don't, that's fine. But I'm just kind of sharing that it's not. If you are a constitutional citizen, according to this, it does not take anything away from you. Now, if you're a statutory citizen or a federal citizen, a 14th Amendment citizen, it absolutely 100% does take away your, I don't want to say natural rights, but it certainly takes away your rights. Okay, so the people as individuals, we have God who is greater than the people as individuals. The people of individuals are greater or make up the state, the Union states. Okay, so this is the states that we're talking about, the organic states. And these Union states created and are bound together in perpetual union by the Constitution, which has 3 branches of government. Okay, we have the executive branch, the judicial branch, and the legislative branch, as you can see right here. All right. Obviously, very important to understand that. So we're talking about the Constitution is the first equity contract that bound the states together. Okay. The 1787 Constitution for the United States of America. All right. So moving on. There are certain things as a state franchise. Okay, these are state corporations. Now, you guys take a look at this here. We have right here state franchises. You see, state corporations, and then state statutory citizens. And this is created by really the union, these branches of government. Okay. Particularly, I think the executive branch and the legislative branch. So and they create state franchises. All right, so now we also have the federal government, okay? And I want to point out something, that a state statutory citizen is different than a person, as a people, as an individual, okay? Here we go. State corporations, state statutory. These are franchises. Okay, so in light of that, we also now have the federal government. All right, so well, hold on here. I don't want to get confused and let me see here. I just want to make sure that I'm reading this correctly, because it doesn't totally. Does that make sense? State franchises, state corporations, state statutory citizens. State statutory citizens. Yeah, I mean, ultimately they come from, the executive branch. Yeah, so I think that's fine. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to clarify. I don't want to be sharing you wrong. But hey, we're on a journey. Everything has to be taken with a grain of salt. So, anyways, from the Union states, we come down here. Come down here to the federal government. The federal government, guys. Again, this is, I believe, the 1789 Constitution of the United States, right? And then again, they have their 3 branches of government, and from those 3 branches, okay, so that's clarifying it for me. The executive branch makes state corporations. That is to say, the state. It would be the state in all capital letters. The state in all capital letters. And then you would have a statutory state citizen also. And then down here, we have the same thing from the executive branch. We would have a federal citizen, a 14th Amendment citizen. And then a judicial branch, we would have a federal. We have federal, state, territories, and then we have the federal statutory. A United States citizen. It's 8 U.S.C. 1401, U.S. citizen. A federal statutory United States citizen. And again, these are federal franchises. As you can see, there's a descending order here from this point. And if I'm missing something, please feel free to make corrections in the comment section. So that's how I understand it so far. We start with God as a basic premise, or the universe creator. Then we have us, individuals, people as individuals. We are constitutional, but not statutory citizens. Constitutional citizens. And then you have your states of the union. They come together. They're supposed to represent the people. And then underneath them, they have the state or the state of. They create their own state franchises. Then they have a federal government, which creates federal franchises. And these are federal franchises are things such as the Vehicle Code, Civil Statutory Law, the Domicile Civil Protection Franchise, the IRS, the Income Tax, the Family Code, Traffic Court. All of these things belong in there. So, with that being said, I think that's all I want to cover today. I think we'll probably get into some more basics of freedom and sovereignty as we go along. But I just want to. It's been so long since I posted. I just figured I'd get on here and do something like this today. Also, if you're interested, and stick around, and maybe I'll do another video about this. Hey, if you guys want to watch, a video about my passport explanation passport stuff that I was doing today, it'd be a really quick video. You can watch that. I'm gonna do another video right after this. Much love, you guys. We'll see you on that next one.